Everybody, Mark Spector Comics, and I'm back for a much overdue beer and comics. So, if you're interested in seeing what beer and what comic books I recently picked up, stay tuned for that intro. Alright, so welcome back. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so that when I do put out some content, you get in a timely fashion. Like I said, much overdue beer and comics from my channel. It's probably one of my favorite things to do on the channel, but yet, like, I haven't made one of these in quite some time. I had to look back in the catalog, and it was like maybe 2 years ago. It was like, wow, time flies by. And I decided to bring it back. Well, I guess I don't know. Just make another video. Um, Shout out to Jerry the Jitterbug because he said it in one of my most recent videos that he wanted to see some more beer and comics. So there you go. So what are we having today to drink? Let's see. We got. This is I bought this because I had a pretty cool label, and I'm kind of a sucker sometimes for labels. Sticky Oven Shoe Fly Pie. This is an Imperial Brown Ale from Abomination Brewing, which I tried to stick to this episode of Beer and Comics. It's going to be all local beers and just recent comic books that I picked up. So this is from Abomination Brewing Company, North Haven, Connecticut. Distributed by 12%. Label art by Sam Heimer. So if you ever heard of, if you ever read any of the early some of the Disney books, there's in one of the Disney stories, Goofy opens up a pie shop, and one of the pies he comes up with is shoe fly pie. So I believe it's a British pie, if I'm not mistaken. I've never had it, but that was kind of like a little bringing back of the memory there. But pretty cool artwork. This is an Imperial Brown Ale. It is 8% ABV, and it says brown sugar, molasses, cinnamon, nutmeg, and pie crust. So cheers. So that's what I'll be drinking tonight. If you ever had Abomination Brewing Company out of Connecticut, let me know. I'm always trying to check out new breweries when I'm in the area. So when I make this recording today, actually, there's a new brewery opening up in Rhode Island. So Uncommon Pear Brewing Company, and I believe, yeah, today was the grand opening. So if you are in Rhode Island, go check it out. It's in, let's see, quick second, Uncommon Pear Brewing. It's in Smithfield, Rhode Island. So go check it out. I'll probably give it a go next week if I get a chance. So cheers. So if I do go there, expect a nice little picture to go up on my Instagram, because I do like to check those and do those out as well. So I'm doing a little bit of rambling. I'm going to show you some of the recent books I picked up. It's going to be like new comic book stuff for the most part. Picked up a slab. I'll show that last. And to go, obviously, with this series, some beer. So what I did this time is I went to a local liquor store, and they had a mix of six. So obviously, if you've never heard of a mix of six, you pick out 6 cans that are there on the shelf or in the fridge. You put it in this little cart here, this little handle, and then you go cash out. So what I did is I ended up sticking strictly to local breweries. And when I say local, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Hampshire, you get it, Vermont, Maine, local, New England. In the past, I've done mystery uh, beer packages as well that usually either my wife has picked out for me and then they obviously get delivered. So this makes it a little bit more fun. Um, all of these beers I've never tried. Some of these breweries I've never tried, and I will tell you which ones. All right, so we'll start off with the books. I'm going to show you off some recent comic book pickups. And some of it was from like the last couple of weeks that I've compiled up in no particular order. So you may have seen the first book already, Ripcord, issue number 1. If you know, like I don't pick up a lot of new comic books, but when I do, it's typically sci-fi, horror, maybe a little bit of spec. I don't know, not necessarily. But yeah, this one just caught my eye. It's not spec, it's just horror. Ripcord number 1 from, don't even know, it was Ignition Press. I don't even know what that is. It must be like really, really small publishing company. $4.99. Read the story. What caught my eye is Cullen Bunn. Big fan of Cullen Bunn. He writes great horror. So I gave it a shot. I read it. It came out a few weeks back, maybe about a month ago at this point. And it was okay. Not a lot of dialogue, but it was at least interesting to, go see where issue number 2 goes. But yeah, and the artwork was decent. Second book I picked up. Actually, I don't have it with me, but it was White Sky number 1. You probably saw it on one of my recent Instagram posts with this beer. I read that. That was actually pretty decent. I am interested in reading issue number 2 and seeing what that's about. That one had a lot of spec going on with it. The next book I also don't have with me. I left them at home. This is not good for the recording, obviously. It was Murder Droids. Murder Drones? Yeah, Murder Droids. Number 1. Had a little bit of spec-ish to it. That one seemed a little interesting as well. I believe it was like, I don't know if it was an adaptation of a story, but it was based out of Oni Press, another really small publisher. But set on the abandoned exoplanet Copper 9, where robotic worker drones are hunted by deadly murder drones activated by a forgotten human protocol. So it's going to be a 6-issue series adapted from episodes of a popular YouTube web series. So I'm going to have to watch the web series. It caught my eye. It was interesting. Like I said, exoplanet, sci-fi, dystopian, stuff like that. That catches my eye. It has a little bit of spec as well, but I was able to get it for cover price. Next book that had an immense spec when this book came out was Dork. I was unfortunate to pick up issue number 1. That book was going for like 30 to 50 bucks day one, and all the comic shops near me had not a single copy. So this week, the second printing came out. So Dork number 1, second printing. Interested in reading this, seeing what the hype is all about. Written by Brett Bean, Jean-Francois Bellou, and Nate Piokos. Artwork. So half dwarf, half orc, all. So I'm at least willing to give it a try. I believe Brett Bean is also going to be at Terrificon this year. So if I'm able to go, maybe I'll get one signed. So there you go. Dork number 1. All right, have a little bit of sip. And then the last book I picked up this week for New Comic Book Day. It's something I don't typically pick up a lot of because I don't have a lot of this series in my collection. But it's the new Star Wars title. Star Wars Shadow of Maul, issue number one. As you can see on there, it's a prelude to the upcoming Disney Plus show. So I don't read a lot of Star Wars. Like I said, I probably in the PC probably only have like 5, 6 books, and it's scattered. I got some from the original. I got uh, obviously this now. Some couple of maybe like a C3PO, some cover art or something like that. I don't know. So it's not much. I figured, give this a go. It's written by Benjamin Percy and who else? Benjamin Percy and Derek. Oh, so cover art's by Derek Chu. This is Derek Chu. Oh yeah, guess it is. Um, and the artist is by Matabek Musabekov. Never heard of them. But I'm willing to give it a try. You know, not really spec-ish, but potentially. I don't know. But out of all of the Star Wars, villains, I grew keen on Darth Maul back in the day. I always thought the dual lightsaber, all the acrobatics by, I believe his name was David Park, the person who played the original Darth Maul, was really cool. So I figured, let's give this a go. Maybe it's a decent read because, like I said, it's written by Benjamin Percy, and I guess it has to do. So I guess the synopsis: a pulpy, exciting prequel series set before the events of the upcoming Disney Plus show. Welcome to Janix, a neolit, shadow-soaked maze of a planet that lies between the reach of the Empire. Captain Brander Lawson is doing his best to navigate the law of the lawless territory. He's joined by his partner, a droid named Two Boots, as they face off against scheming crime bosses. A couple of new appearances. First appearance of Captain Brander Lawson, like I mentioned. First appearance of Two Boots, a droid. I don't know. Maybe it'll just be a fun read. So those are the new comic books I picked up. Let's show some beer, right? All right. So, in no particular order, I'm just going to start pulling beer while I drink some beer. So, from the front. And I'll talk a little bit about them, like my thoughts, why I picked it up, and so forth. So, first one, Moniker Brewing. We got Stun Gravity. This is Thiolized New England IPA. I've never heard of that before. Thiolized. Let me know if you've heard of that before. Typically, it's just New England IPA. So, but this caught my eye just because of the graphics. Like I said, I love the sci-fi. Who doesn't like a cool little ray gun? So, Moniker Brewing, if you're not familiar, is very local to me. It's based out of Providence, Rhode Island, and it is brewed and canned in Rhode Island. 7.5% ABV. And I do like the little crystals there at the bottom too. Interesting. So it says in there, tasting notes: juicy, juice, and juice. So it's going to be juicy. You got some Galaxy, Mosaic, Citra, and Cashmere hops. There you go. So interesting. I'm excited for that one. And let me know if you guys enjoy, some of these types of beers. I picked a just different slew of beers. I like IPAs. I like stouts. I like porters. I like drinking Kolsch's. Trying to see. Usually in the winter, I like to drink heavier beers. Just me personally. I like the stouts. I like the porters, especially some of the imperial stuff. But that's just me. Next one, strictly artwork. I had no clue. I thought this was pretty cool. Obviously, as a healthcare worker, when I saw this, and then I showed my wife, and then she showed some of her friends like the picture artwork because they're like cardiac sonographers. So this was pretty cool. And my wife was before she was a cardiac stress testing nurse. So she thought this was pretty sweet. So Very cool artwork here by not a lot of people know about this brewery, but I went there back in the day when I worked down in Weymouth, Massachusetts. So this is based out of Vitamin C Brewing, so like the sea, the ocean, Vitamin C Brewing, out of Weymouth, Massachusetts. This is an IPA, and it is called Wild at Heart. So pretty nifty. Thought that was a nice little play on words there. 6% ABV, and look at that, just really cool. So there you go, is the second beer. Next beer, like I said, I do like the stout, so this is gonna be a stout. Sips on there, it's pretty good. Good beer, good brown ale. Next beer is based out of Ragged Island, Ragged Island Brewing Company, and this is a brewery I haven't been to yet. Portsmouth, Rhode Island, southern part of the state, and this is a custom house coffee stout. A little bit lighter. Nothing special with the graphics there. Just telling it how it is. There you go. And also brewed and packed by Ragged Island. So I keep on saying that because sometimes historically, like Narragansett Brewery is the largest brewing company in the state, and for the longest time they used to pack their cannons were outsourced. They used to be done in New York State, which was a damn shame. I used to criticize I forget at the time the governor for it because she outsourced the job and then bring back the jobs back to Rhode Island. But they're now back in Rhode Island brewing and canning. So enough riffing on that. But Ragged Island Custom House Coffee Stout based out of Portsmouth, Rhode Island. Light beer, 5%. And that's really it. It doesn't say much. There you go. Next beer. Here we go. This is probably, so me and John and a couple of the guys, when I say John, Big Daddy John Ross, we've gone to this brewery a couple of times, especially for when we do the hangouts with the whiskey and the comic crawls at his place. We often stop by this brewery because it's like a few minutes away. This is Tilted Barn Brewery, one of my favorite, if not, it's my favorite brewery in the state of Rhode Island. If you're in Rhode Island, definitely check out this brewery. It's a must. It's based out of Exeter, Rhode Island. I haven't had this beer yet, but I like this. Simple, nice little artwork. It's called Pour Sap Maple Brown Ale. Obviously, we're here in New England. New Hampshire and Vermont are the two big maple states. Obviously, Vermont is well known for its maple. But I thought this was pretty cool. Pour Sap Maple Brown Ale, as I'm drinking right now, an Imperial Brown Ale. 7% ABV. This one has a lot of information here about the brewery. Not getting the best lighting right now, so apologies on that. But there you go. So it says, Pour Sap's a brown ale we brew every spring here on the farm using maple syrup from our friends right down the road at the Slocum Sugar House. Brewed with English malt, lightly hopped with classic American hops, and conditioned on pure Rhode Island maple syrup. So it's very smooth, slightly nutty profile, and a touch of sweetness, obviously, from the maple syrup. So there you go. Pour Sap out of Tilted Barn in Exeter, Rhode Island. We're getting down to our last two, so hopefully you guys have been enjoying it. If you have, hit the thumbs up, comment, down below. And if you're still here, you're waiting for the finale because I'm going to be showing off a slab at the end. So last two beers. This one's cool. Um, I like these. Like I said, big fan of the porters and the stouts this time of the year. And we're starting to get closer to spring, but we're still in the winter. And if you know anything about New England, we've had one hell of a winter. So a little bit outside of the local, because this is in. Oh, sorry, apologies. It says New York on there. It's not New York. It's Connecticut. Also brewed by Evil Twin Brewing Company out of North Haven, Connecticut, by 12%. So this is Evil Twin Brewing, New York City, 11.5% Imperial Porter with coffee. This is a big boy. It's a heavy beer. There's some donuts there. So Imperial Donut Break, 11.5% ABV. Doesn't say much for description outside of Imperial Porter with coffee, vanilla, almonds, and donuts added. Yeah, look at that. Donuts added. So that one might be interesting. And it's probably the strongest beer out of the bunch here, including the one that I'm drinking. This one's at 8%, right? I believe so. Yeah. So that one's likely going to be the heaviest at 11.5. And the finale. Um, this one's cool. I love the artwork on here. It's fun. This one is, I believe, another. Yep. This is another one from Abomination Brewing Company. Like I said, it's a brewing company I have not been to. Out of North Haven. North Haven. I've never been to North Haven, but they got uh, two brewing companies to go check out, I guess. So, brewed and packaged by Abomination Brewing Company, North Haven, Connecticut. This is Night Milk Coffee Stout. You got a lot going on here on this label. Check that out. Plane Crash. What's that say? December welded? I don't know what that is. What the hell that is? Satan Herd, Armed Intruder, Kaiju, Infestation. Interesting. So you got your clock there. You got this skull with a teddy. At the bottom, you got Quicksand and Vampire Bats. And on the other side, look at this. Failure, Mothman, Late, Cthulhu, wrong number. Does that say Drowning? Shipwreck, and Spiders. Very interesting. So it's your 7% milk stout with coffee. Cool label. Interested in checking this one out as well. Because like I said, I like coffee stouts. So that's wrapping up my beer. Like I said, if you've sampled any of these beers or have checked out any of these breweries, write down in the comments below. Let's finish up with the slab. All right. So I was at the local comic shop the other day. Apologize. And they often get new slabs and new books added to the, I guess, to the long boxes that they have there, new key issues and so forth. They add them about almost every week or so, and same with slabs. So they had a little sign there, new slabs added early March. So I was like, all right, let me peruse through these real quick and see what they got. And they ended up having one of my buddies, one of my favorite characters in DC. So I was like, all right, I have this book already, but I don't have this book graded. And it's a great story. Wow, my favorite Green Lantern. It might not be your favorite Green Lantern, but that's all right. So I saw this, good price. He had it listed for $50, and it's signed, and it has a little sketch. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna pick this up. Boom. So this is Green Lantern from Volume 3, issue number 48. This is the first appearance of Kyle Rayner, which later becomes the new Green Lantern. Well, then it was. Ron Marr's story, Darryl Banks cover, and as you can see, it's signed and got a tiny little sketch there by Ron Marrs. So, like I said, first appearance of Kyle Rayner, Emerald Twilight Part 1. It's a very fun, three-part series, 48, 49, and 50. Classic issues. If you haven't read the story, definitely worth it. It was definitely a fun read. And there's the back cover, and it's graded at a 9.4, which is fine by me. You don't need to be. It doesn't need to be a 9.8, guys. Sorry to tell you guys. Sometimes it's not chasing the grade. It's just like, you know, chasing the book. You know what I'm saying? And when you have when it's for a good price, you just don't hesitate. You just buy it. It was $50. And then I ended up having a little bit of a credit too on top of it. So that was nice. So, and just to show you that I do like the book, I actually have the book raw right here with me. And actually, what's funny is they're both directs. Look at that. So for the people who don't like the slabs, they want to read the book. There you go. I have it right here as well. So that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed me bringing back this beer and comics. If you like this, let me know. If you want me to bring it back some more, do it more frequently. Because this is the first time like I said, probably done it in about 2 years, which I had to track back. I was like, wow, it's been that long. So let me know. Until next time, Rock the Comics.